Weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they score an opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt, because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line. 180.
Now the leading rusher for the Pats last year is a rookie, Sony Michel. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Set! Black 80! Mike 50! Watch QB drop! Watch QB Mike!
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Well, look now at our starting defense. They are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
We know it's only week 1, but the results look pretty good so far. The key is, can they do it week in and week out? Because right now, they're not awarding any championships or trophies after 1 week of performance. Got some nice young faces playing for them. Let's see if they can get this going.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. His throw incomplete. The intended target was Chris Godwin, and it's 3rd down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And, who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I know exactly why I tried to throw the ball to Julio Jones there. He's never considered covered. He's either too fast or too strong. You always try and get it to him.
Especially on those deep passes. On 4th down on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. Back deep is Emmanuel Sanders. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. Last week, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. We were talking with him on the field before the game. He said simply, I was in a groove. He obviously was.
And I think he's been a little modest about that, being in a groove. That's a big-time game right there. And I think he feels like his entire team is coming along with him because they're creating spaces and holes for him to run through. He's making people miss, running through tackles. They are locked in a big way and confident about this game as well.
Now Bell stopped up behind the line as he's going to wind up losing a couple here. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed a big hit for a loss. He'll have a first down past the 40. And finally brought down right at the midfield stripe. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Well, this is the reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Runs like that might get him another award.
Yeah, Thunderbolt right out of the gate, huh? How about that, hitting the defense hard early? And, of course, carrying the momentum from last week into this week's game.
Now, after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Let's make these babies crawl all the way back home. Right there, 54, right there.
To throw, Bridgewater. Looking deep for Adams. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Hey, watch out. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. You better bring it. You better bring it.
Here's Bridgewater. Looking deep for Adams. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Thought they were going to force a 4th down. Instead, P.I. gives them the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
A first down throw for Bridgewater. And that's complete to Adams. Pretty darn good, as you see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball is thrown.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Le'Veon Bell with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Man left, 3 down.
They'll run out of the gun with Michelle. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. That's to his running back, Sony Michel. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll run it with Bell. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Ready. 60 arm. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. All day, every day, any day. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Mike's 5-4.
3rd and short yardage. Bridgewater. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's caught at the 10. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one